Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fallout Circle. Let's start a chat with Logan.
Oh, hey. Hi,
Hey,
Jordyn.
hey,
Welcome to the Fallout Geometric Edition, penultimate Geometric Edition, where we are your number one source for the fallout of all things reality TV. Today, we are back. We are live. If you're watching us live, great. If you're not, great. We
hey.
are here talking.
The shade of it all.
Just watch us in general. Today we're talking episodes 11 and 12, the last two episodes, kind of The
Oh,
Circle
Lord help us.
US Season 2. I'm Logan Murphy.
I am Jordyn Lagace, also a psychic. That's Capricorn.
Oh, I have thoughts and feelings. Oh, yes.
Wait, should I get the tarot deck out?
If you want to, go for it. Oh, these two episodes. So we were talking when we last caught up with you all talking about the circle. We were talking about how those two episodes were kind of boring, and these two episodes are kind of the exact opposite. It's a good time. I'm very
It's gonna be
excited. We
a
have
good old
two.
Kiki.
It is. Yes, but before we get started, if you're watching with us live or after the fact on YouTube, make sure you're subscribing to the channel, turning on the notification bell, liking, subscribing, commenting, doing all those fabulous, lovely things. And if you're listening to us after the fact, wherever fine podcasts can be listened to, make sure you are also following, liking, subscribing, potentially fanning yourself with tarot cards if that's your gig. And without further ado, let's talk Circle. Jordyn, how do you feel about these last two episodes overall?
Thank God we have shit to talk about.
Honestly. Yep, so we start episode 11. We were left on a
Come on,
cliffhanger from
episode
episode
11.
10. We were left on a cliffhanger. Chloe and Trevor were the influencers. We didn't know who they were going to block. Trevor is delivering the news, and we find out that they decided to block our good sis Cat, and I'm very sad about it. But to be fair, she also did it to herself.
As much as I love Kat, yeah, she did it to herself. But then at
Yeah.
the same time, like I also I didn't realize Courtney and River and Chloe were as tight as they were at the time. So like
I
I
didn't
feel like
realize that.
in the game of the circle, there's a lot of unleft editing. Like compared to like a show like Big Brother or whatever. Like I
It
feel
feels like
like
we're missing a lot.
yeah, like this whole season has felt like I've missed stuff.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you get when you only have 12 episodes, 12 or 13 episodes, so I get
When you
it.
have, when you have 12 episodes and 11 cast members, that's what you get, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so Kat is blocked. Their reasoning is that they were looking out for their future in the circle. Obviously, we know Kat was coming after Chloe because of the whole Emily not going to visit her thing, but going to visit her thing, even though Emily is now John. But they don't know
What did you
that.
think of the actual like episode title for that episode? Like the master plan.
I mean, they do come up with like their master plan, so like it's valid. I wasn't mad at it necessarily, but I wish it had been something cheekier to reference like the Circle Awards, and we'll talk in depth about the Circle Awards. Also, before we get too far into this episode, I do have something that I want to bring up regarding one of the players, someone that we have potentially thirsted over
I no
in the
longer
past.
thirst
The thirst is not real. The Instagram has been
anymore.
unfollowed. And Jordyn, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
Cool. So, just to bring everybody up to speed, last week, and I was reading it a few days ago, last week there was an article written about Mitchell, and some racist and homophobic, I'm going to say allegations, but in reality they're real, but for all intents and purposes, they're allegations.
And they're alleged.
Everything is alleged except fuck this man, not literally anymore. Yeah, photos were shown of him with a Confederate flag in his bedroom, and someone from his high school also created this entire Twitter thread, which I ended up reading, talking about how he was known as like the racist, homophobic, Confederate redneck. Which,
you know, the thing is, now knowing this with the information of this particular person being a virgin, it all makes sense.
Not that.
Well, no, because like he was very family values about it. So now, like with the actual information, like the Confederate and all of that, it makes sense.
Yeah, all I want to say is Circle, do better with your casting. Netflix, do better. It's not that hard to not cast pieces of shit on your shows. Period.
I don't like, I feel like in reality TV, we're always going to at least get one of those problematic people. As much as they try to do better, it seems like it always ends up happening.
Well, clearly background checks weren't done. Like, and that's just like a common theme across like a lot of American reality TV anymore, which is why The Fallout has been covering more international shows than anything else, because countries other than the US seem to do just a little bit better when it comes to that. Just a little bit. BB Can was questionable at first and then handled the problem efficiently. So we didn't have a problem with BB Can.
Yeah,
Remember that?
BB Can,
Remember that
like,
part?
the second, like, the news broke with the BB Can stuff and it was corrected within a few hours.
Literally hours. Like, that was insane to me.
It was also insane to me. But we're not here to discuss BB Can this evening. We are here to talk
The
shapes,
circle.
a circle that is infinite. What was the description someone said?
Infinite?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Are you talking about what Katya called it?
Yes. I
Yeah,
am. And if you haven't already seen it, Katya and Trixie Mattel posted, you know what, I might pop the link in one of these corners just to give it some more views, because honestly,
well, I was going to say, we also shared it on our Twitter. We also shared it on our Twitter at the Fallout TV. You can go check that out.
Would you, I don't even know if the like usernames that they wanted to give would have been allowed.
No, because you have to like give a name, like a real name. It's not like screen names. You have to give like an actual name. But yeah, so
alas, it was hilarious.
It was. But yeah, so back to the episode. We just wanted to talk about all the things with Mitchell really quick. Not to bring down the mood of the podcast, but fuck that man. Not literally anymore. So yes, Kat is blocked. We are sad. Kat goes to visit Trevor, and the reaction is super positive because I think she kind of realized maybe Trevor's a catfish. And Delisa welcomes her with open arms. It's really cute.
Well, she was suspect of them Trevor for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't surprised. I think she generally wanted the answers that she seeked.
Absolutely. And like my favorite
It
part
was
of
a
this
cute
whole
kiki.
conversation. Yeah, my favorite part was Delisa was like, I'm not keeping these lashes on. I was like, props to you for even putting lashes on in the circle. Like
I was like, you're wearing lashes. You don't really have to look at anyone. Good on
yeah.
you.
Right? So they talk about this. Now, this was the interesting part. Delisa's fully, completely talking Frank to Kat in this moment. And she's like, I love Chloe, but she's very naive and she's very willing to trust everyone. And it's at this point where I was like, oh, Delisa, I see you. Like I see the game plan, I see the full circle, literally. But I thought that was interesting. They touch on how they think River is a catfish. Kat says John is a catfish because apparently people in West Virginia don't say y'all. I can tell
Did you know
you
that people in West Virginia didn't say y'all?
no, so I have something to debunk that, Jordyn. So
Okay.
I guess step grandma is the right term. My stepdad's mom is born and raised in West Virginia, and she says y'all all the time.
Okay.
So, Miss Cat, I'm very sorry. Your theory is debunked. People who live in West Virginia say y'all. People in Arizona say y'all. Hi.
I mean, people in Canada occasionally say y'all.
If I move to Canada, I will
So,
continue to say y'all, but maybe it'll be like y'all a. Or maybe I'll add an a at the end.
love for us.
Yeah. So, Kat also tells Delisa that she thinks Courtney is the Joker because of like the way of talking, and tells her that she needs to make sure Chloe gets close to Mitch. And it's at this point we get the cute little Goodnight John segment that I talked about in the last episode. Goodnight, John.
You know what, the Goodnight John, like, as much as I really dislike Jack, I thought it was cute.
I'm liking Jack and Lisa significantly more than I did before. Now that they are together as John, like it's cute. It's cute.
You know what? You know what it was? I think it took Lisa and Jack to have a partner
Mm-hmm.
for Jack to not annoy me as much as Jack does.
Well, it's like we had full time Jack, and now with Lisa, it's like we get like when we get John time, it's like 50% Jack, 50% Lisa, and I think it's a little bit more palatable for me. Is kind of where I'm
Yeah, I
at
think
with
that's
it.
the case.
Yeah. So we wake up the next morning. Trevor is constantly talking about how um, they want to break up Courtney and River. We get the newsfeed update, Kat's video. She's saying that her competitive nature fully took over. And she said once the messy queens got the tea, it was over. And she mentions, which comes up multiple times throughout the rest of the episode, Jordyn, she talks about this two-headed snake. And then Chloe, for the life of her,
Also,
can't understand this two-headed snake comment.
bless Chloe's heart, not knowing what about the two-headed snake.
And it's like, it's very obvious that it's Courtney and River. River admitted to being a messy queen. So, and then we get a little bit of Delisa sort of strategizing in this circle chat, and she decides that she's going to tell everyone that Kat went to go visit Trevor. What did you think about that?
Look, this is my logic about the visiting and all that. Like, why would you bother lying about it?
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, moving forward, I feel like it's something that, like, if someone comes to visit you, why lie? Just say yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, and no one, to be fair, no one's lied about it this season.
Nobody has, but people
Like
have
there's
suspected the lie.
like there's allegations of lying about people going to visit people, but like there's no no one's actually lied about it. And this is something that like I don't think I've ever really seen in a circle season before, is so many people actually caring about who goes to see who, and like that being like part of the game plan.
You watched Full UK, and I haven't had a chance to like go back and like I think I stopped halfway through. So maybe you can talk on this, but in the UK format, do they lie about visits?
No, for the most part, and that's what I was saying. Like, I've never seen this sort of like emphasis on visiting after people are blocked, because in the UK version, to my knowledge, there hasn't ever really been any lying or like speculation of lying about visiting. A lot of people are just like, oh yeah, they came to visit me, like, and being upfront and honest about it. I can't remember, because I've watched all 3 series of UK, and obviously I watched Circle season 1.
Yeah, because
But
like
I don't
I
remember
watched,
any instances.
I binged the celebrity version because of Bag of Chips. Plus Bag of Chips, because she also did full drag almost every day.
They also were in there for 6 days, so
I mean, still, I wouldn't get all just up for 6
fair,
days.
fair. But yeah, no, I haven't really seen this as like an issue at all. But I find it interesting that they're making it an issue in this season. I'm interested to see where it goes from there, like in future seasons. But yeah,
Yeah, me too.
So beyond this morning circle chat, we get a couple other cute chats. My personal favorite being the Chloe and John chat. So
That was a cute chat.
John is fully giving Chloe an oracle card reading. And Chloe,
I thought it was hilarious that Circle provided them the tarot cards.
no, not tarot cards, oracle cards, Jordyn. There's a difference. I don't know what the difference is, but there's a difference apparently.
There's a difference?
I have no clue.
I've always thought like tarot cards were kind of oracle-y. So I'm confused, but okay.
Yeah, I don't really know what the difference is. Trying to do it super quick.
Yeah, we do have a Facebook page. If you guys want to go and like it, I am posting when we go live, or I'm trying to. I'm awful at checking Facebook, so
yeah,
that's what I was doing.
Love that. So it says that oracle decks are a tool of self-reflection to add to your magical and spiritual practice. Can offer similar insight to tarot. It kind of just looks like, oh, so it looks like tarot's more structured and oracle's more like free form, I guess, is kind of the difference. Is from what I'm seeing on like a very cursory Google search. But it's at this point that we get, and I think this should have been a weekly segment, our Chloe quote of the day, Jordyn.
Yeah.
We get our Chloe quote of the day. I believe he's a psychic because he knows all the psychic words, like Capricorn. Full on, I was watching this with my roommate and full on just like died laughing. Like, and then the whole
Miss
time in this
Chloe.
The entertainment value.
Like, I am so glad we got her for the 12 episodes. Because she is really making, like, this season of The Circle easier to watch.
Absolutely. The fun part, too, for me was the entire time she's just, like, balancing on an exercise ball in the gym. Like, this whole conversation is also happening in the gym. And I just, like, I love that. But yeah, so after that chat, we get a quick little messy queens chat. They love John. They love John. They said they want to keep an eye on Mitch since he hasn't really talked to them. That's about all we get from the messy queens, and then we get a Trevor and Mitch chat where Trevor's being upfront with Mitch because Mitch was close with Kat. They're kind of getting on the same page, talking about how Courtney's the Joker. Trevor is advising Mitch on how he can better his game, basically just like helping Trevor's game as well, which I love. I love as well. Like all of the gameplay out of Delisa this season has been really calculated and smart, but I love at this point using Mitchell kind of as like an auxiliary part of her plan.
The master plan.
Yes, the trifecta plan, if you will. The master plan, all of the plans. So the idea behind this trifecta thing is to make sure that they're like cool with Courtney and River. Mitch is gonna share some personal information with Chloe, and then Mitch and Trevor are gonna reel in Chloe, tell them that Courtney was the Joker and what Courtney said. And the whole part of this that's interesting to me is like none of the things Courtney said as the Joker were how he actually feels, because he was trying to play it off as if he was Emily. Mm-hmm. And so it's funny to me that plan by Courtney is now kind of backfiring a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love that like Mitchell and especially Trevor are kind of turning this around and using it in their benefit. They think it's 100% true, but even though it's not, I still love that like they're still using this information to better their game.
Yeah. And honestly, like the move in general was smart.
Yeah. I mean, if it was me, I would have tried to simultaneously pull in John and Chloe, and then you guarantee that you have others. I don't really know why they didn't think to also pull in John.
I wonder if, because John was really like new, I wonder if they just were like, realistically, John would probably be the next to go.
Yeah, I don't know if, and we'll get there when we talk about the rankings or the ratings,
right?
But Jack even brings up like how he feels like they could potentially be like collateral damage in Trevor's like plans.
Yeah.
A lot of Jack's insight post Emily has been really like completely on the money.
Yeah, he's been really He's been relatively spot on post Emily.
Yeah. So Jordyn, we get the Circle Awards.
I'm interested. The Circle Awards.
Chloe looks great. Everyone else is in a tuxedo.
I love that the girls all had to wear tuxedos.
I loved it.
Delicia in that tuxedo.
Delicia.
Delisa, Delicia.
There's no Ia.
Well,
yeah.
Honestly, she was struggling to get the puppies into the tuxedo.
Well, and then later she just rips the shirt open.
She really does.
Yeah, so everybody at the Circle Awards has to nominate someone for various awards. We get the Sexiest Player Award. Shocker goes to Chloe. And she's like, I want to dedicate this to all the Essex girls. And then she says she's going to put it on her mantelpiece that she doesn't have.
But can get a mantelpiece.
I was like, you win this game and you go get yourself a mantelpiece, girl. The comedy award is given to Courtney, kind of almost unanimously. I would agree. I think out of the people left, Courtney's providing the comedy.
Yeah.
The other two awards
one thing I would say about the comedy award is Chloe could have also received it.
100%.
I don't know, like, I think that's like because we're seeing the funny moments, and like the house isn't.
Yeah,
but yeah, I could have seen her getting it as well.
Well, I was gonna say I think Courtney voted for Chloe in this vote because obviously he can't vote for himself. So I think he did vote for Chloe. The other two awards that we get are the ones that aren't as like unanimous. The best performance award goes to Mitchell, which I was kind of surprised by. Courtney voted for Chloe, and then Mitch and Trevor both voted for Courtney, meaning that John, River, and Chloe all voted for Mitchell. I thought Chloe's reasoning especially was interesting. She just said because she was friend-zoned.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the best performance award.
I don't either. I probably would have ended up giving it to Mitchell, but I'm not really sure. And then the last one is the one that kind of is like a little all over the place. So it's the Lifetime Achievement Award for Kissing Ass. And so we got Mitch voting for Courtney, John voting for Chloe. We get Courtney and River voting for Mitch, and then we get Trevor and Chloe voting for River, meaning that River and Mitch both win the award. And it's at this point specifically that I'm like, Lee, why are you being a dick? Like he was like celebrating the award. He was like being a dick in the chat. I was like, you are just really like, no. No.
I feel like Lee is now like knowing he's trying to go for that villain edit.
I guess.
Like that's my only logic. That maybe he's trying to get the villain edit.
But why?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, so Lee is like excited about this award, and Mitchell is fully bothered. And he says that there are others that are more deserving.
Accurate.
Which I would agree. Honestly, I probably would have voted for Courtney.
Yeah, me too.
Like that seems like the most obvious answer. River also potentially. And then this is another moment where I just love, like the show is great, and then Michelle Buteau's commentary is even better. She's like, she mentions Mitchell's "Not Today, Honey" button, and I was like, yes, Michelle. Like her narration is just everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we end this episode. There's a quick Trevor and River check-in. there's just more kissing ass, which is part of the trifecta plan. And then the other part of the another part of the trifecta plan before we close the episode is we get a chat with Mitch and Chloe. He's trying to gain her trust. They talk about like initial judgments and like preconceived notions about them because of like social media. He mentions to her that he's a virgin, and she's kind of like, oh, I guess that's why like some of the friend zoning makes sense. No, he was fully just flirting with Emily, but like you come to your own conclusions. Cool. And so we go into episode 12 with this full-on like trifecta plan in full force. Everything is going. What do you think about how the plan played out, Jordyn?
So I guess I would have had more insight as to how the plan played out had we I guess like had, and we'll get into the ratings, but like I feel like we would have had more of an idea if the trifecta worked, if the ratings played out differently.
Yeah, it's kind of clear that it didn't work. What especially didn't work is this, like the first convo we see at the start of episode 12. It's Mitch, Courtney, and River. And I'm just like, I would not have done the three of them together. I would have done them separately. Just to make it a little bit more.
That would have been like the better situation.
Yeah, it just the way that Mitch went about it was just wrong. Like the plan was good, obviously, because Trevor created it, but the execution on his end was not good.
Not so good.
Yeah, and so obviously Courtney and River aren't buying anything that he's selling. And then shortly after we get this chat with Mitch, Trevor, and then they add in Chloe. And this is step 3 of the plan. They like basically like confront Chloe and they're like, Courtney's the Joker. Here's everything he said about you because Kat told us. Mitch was also there. And now Chloe's conflicted and is kind of stuck between these two groups of the Courtney and River and the Mitch and Trevor.
Do you think the ratings, had they played out differently, do you think we would have had a different outcome?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think
so you think Trevor and Mitchell would have had Chloe on their side?
I don't know. I think if Chloe had gone with the Trevor and Mitch side, then I think there is a good possibility Mitchell could have been the secret super influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's, or Chloe, or even John potentially. We'll get there when we talk about when we get to the ratings, because I was like, I have some speculations. We'll bring in a little bit of speculation corner. Yeah, because like I have some thoughts about that.
Yeah, because like with the blocking and all of that, I'm just wondering if Trevor and Mitchell's plan actually worked with Chloe, or if Chloe would have.
Do you want to just get into it? The only other thing to talk about is their final pitches and like everyone's emotional. The one thing I do want to talk about with it is Chloe talking about her dad's addiction recovery charity. I thought that was absolutely incredible. I'm going to do some research on the charity and we'll probably tweet it out. So if y'all want to go support it as well, I'll probably do some supporting of it as well. But yeah, at the Fallout
TV.
Yeah, at the Fallout TV. Yeah, I loved Chloe's reasoning. Delisa's obviously her kids. Like, we've heard it before, but cool. And Courtney talking about his stepdad with stage 3 kidney disease. I thought they were all like very Open and honest, obviously with the exception of River. But yeah, let's get into these ratings, Jordyn.
And they
So
really, like, let's just briefly touch, like, why did they think Mitchell was lying about the toy tribe? That was weird to me too.
because they're the villains of this season, I didn't get it. I thought it was rude, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
I was just like, I don't understand this. So we get to the ratings, and we see a lot of the ratings today. We see everybody's first rated player, which I thought was interesting. And so the other thing that was interesting is they started in reverse order. So we see everybody's fifths first. So Courtney puts Mitchell fifth, shocker, and Mitchell returns the favor. River and John both put Trevor fifth, which I also thought was really interesting. Jack and Lisa's reasoning specifically was that Trevor is close to Mitch and Chloe, and they didn't think it was back to the collateral damage comment from earlier. They thought it was potentially collateral damage. They could be collateral damage. We get Mitchell putting River fourth, shocker, and then we get the first of Chloe's ratings. And Chloe, the entire ratings is kind of like going back and forth, like what should I do? Not really sure. She ends up putting Mitchell third. Which, given her first place rating, means she either put one of her Kardashians or her boyfriend in fourth. I have my idea about who I think it is, but what do you think, Jordyn?
I think it might be Trevor.
Oh, I thought it was Courtney.
I mean, I could see both arguments with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Courtney just because of all the tea that was spilled.
Yeah. Well, my big thing was I think it would be Courtney fourth, because when we go back to the last blocking, when Chloe and Trevor were influencers, Chloe did say, I don't know if I can 100% trust Courtney. So I don't see her putting Trevor fourth. I just don't see it. I could see the argument for both as well. But I thought it was interesting. So at this point, we get John putting Courtney second. Trevor is putting Mitch second. And then everybody's first. We get Mitchell putting Trevor first. Trevor putting Chloe first. River putting John first. John putting River first. Courtney putting John first. And Chloe putting River first. Which for me, that in itself kind of showed me what side Chloe chose. And it seems to me that she chose the side of the Kardashians.
Yeah.
I, at this point, was definitely like, okay, so either John or River is going to be the influencer. And I don't know what's going to happen. I was fully going into it. I was fully convinced that it was going to be John.
What do you think John would have done?
Block Trevor, 100%.
That would have been interesting.
So I think that
that would have been a game-changing move.
That would have also been 3 catfish in one room. Like, can you imagine, Jordyn? I also want to say, like, it's really interesting to me because, to my knowledge, in past series, the last person into the circle typically isn't able to get this much autonomy to the point where John was probably second in the ratings. Like, the only rankings we get of John are the 2 firsts. Whereas with River, we get a 4th place rating with River. And so I'm curious, 1, how close it was, and 2, like, I'm pretty sure John was 2nd in the ratings. I'd be surprised if it was someone else.
Yeah.
But we find out. Oh wait, no, there's one part left. There's a lot of family videos. They decide to give them family videos the day before the game ends. And everybody's crying.
What I want to know, like, how long do you think they were away from their families?
Okay, so my roommate and I were actually talking about this yesterday. So it seems like the circle itself took, like, the game took probably just under 2 weeks. And so if you take into consideration, because I'm pretty sure this was filmed in the UK.
I'm starting to think so, just because I remember Emma Willis was in that same intergalactic space kind of like room.
Yeah.
So I think they made some modifications, but I do think it might have been.
I think that also is the reason why we're seeing smaller casts for the US version and larger casts for the UK version, obviously because it takes more money to fly people from the US.
Yeah.
But the other thing, I'm pretty sure there was a shot of like the like Brighton sea, like the Brighton like seaside, or it's like an English seaside with like the carnival situation. There was like a drone shot of it in the show, and I assume that's probably from the UK because.
So if they were to have, like, if they filmed in the UK, so I guess that would make sense why we're getting like emotional videos.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say is, why does, like, it's also, if it wasn't filmed in the UK, it was definitely filmed in LA, because that seaside area could very well be Santa Monica Pier.
I was gonna say Santa Monica or Santa Barbara, definitely.
Yeah. So.
But I feel like if it was filmed in the UK, which is what I'm gonna assume, I think the entire process from leaving, quarantining, and flying back was probably about a month and a week. So probably like a 5-week process.
So I guess like the happy videos from home feels a little bit less.
Yeah, I just wish
brutal.
they had been like earlier in the season, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I never like a family video the day before like the game ends. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, there's just a lot of crying, all the crying. And we find out.
What did you think of Lee's husband?
Cute.
And mom.
Cute. I didn't have any negative feelings.
I kind of choked up with the Trevor video.
Oh, 100% I cried.
Yeah.
We got to the actual Trevor.
We got the actual Trevor.
Ugh. Chloe's was emotional too. I liked it a lot.
Chloe's was.
Yeah. So we get so we find out that there is no like top 2 influencers. Instead, there's a secret super influencer. And the secret super influencer, Jordyn, is River.
I was surprised.
Kind of gagged. I thought it was gonna be John.
Yeah. I did too.
I thought it was gonna be John, and I was fully preparing myself to lose Delisa in this moment. I was emotional. I was upset. And then Lee finds out that he has to go block the last person face to face, which if you're a Circle fan, you know that that's like the case when it comes to things. So I wasn't surprised by that in the slightest. And we ultimately find
No, I
out,
wasn't
Jordyn,
either.
we find out that the last player blocked from the Circle is Mitchell.
Bye, Mitchell. I'm not even mad.
I'm not mad. I was kind of surprised. Because I thought Lee would take this opportunity to take out a big threat.
I mean, that's what I would have done.
100%, I would have taken out either Trevor or Chloe in this moment.
Yeah.
But
100%.
Yep. Bye, Mitchell. Not sad to see you go. And then we get the preview for the finale, Jordyn. We only have the finale to talk about next week. There's one episode.
Circle flew by for me.
Yeah, it did.
It has not been 84 fucking years.
No, it's been very concise. It's been fun for what it is. It's still not better than the UK version, but
what do you think? Who do you think is gonna take this win?
I want it to be Delisa, but I think it's gonna be Lee.
Part of me, just because of the entertainment value, I would love to see it be Chloe, but I also agree. I feel like with the editing, the last blocking, I honestly do feel like it's going to be Lee.
I'm interested because I remember with the most recent series of the Circle UK, the person who was the secret super influencer didn't win, and I'm curious if that's the case with the other seasons. And I don't remember offhand at all.
I don't remember either.
If you know, let us know in the comments below. We have the preview for next week.
As we wrap up, I'm excited to see Chloe actually react to finding out.
Yeah.
Who's going? Her beloved Trevor is actually a married woman.
Well, did you see the trailer for the finale, Jordyn?
I did see it, but I'm just excited in general to just see that moment because I didn't get enough of the moment in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very, very excited for it. So that's going to be dropping on Wednesday, and we will be going live in our normal Friday Circle Live spot at 10:30 p.m. EST to talk all things Circle finale. Hopefully there will be more people with us, because that'll just be a fun time.
Our special guest for tonight clearly isn't here. We sent a link, but we believe she's still in a game and just hasn't finished with that.
Yeah. So it's all good. It happens. Life happens.
Life happens.
Yeah. So we've got that finale on Friday. And if you want to tune in the day before, we have the BB Can 9 finale, Jordyn. Next week is a little crazy. We got 2 finales in 1 week. It's fucking nuts. We will be live for the BB Can 9 finale at 11:30 p.m. EST. Since the finale is 2 hours, we're basically just going to be going live after the finale.
Yeah.
And as far as other live streams go, if you want to join us the day before BB Can and the day after Circle, we will be going live with Big Brother Australia. We're now going to be doing 2 live streams a week because if you watched the episode that we went live yesterday, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. So
after
we decided
2 hours of BBAU yesterday, we realized we needed to add a second show.
Absolutely. So we will be going live Wednesday and Saturday at 10:30 p.m. EST, which is Thursday and Sunday 12:30 p.m. AEST. I guess it's Eastern Daylight Time actually. So it's EDT and AEDT. Because I forgot daylight savings is a thing. We don't follow it here, so like I don't care. But yeah, so we will be going live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this coming week, talking a lot of reality.
We have lots of reality shows. There's going to be a few videos that aren't live this week. So stick around, turn on notifications for those. And
Yes.
before we sign off, Logan, what is your favorite Fallout video game?
That's a really good question, Jordyn. I don't really play the Fallout video games. I'm gonna say Fallout 2.
Okay, I like the original. We'll go with that.
Thanks. What about you?
I like the original one, the first one.
Okay. We love to see it.
And with that being said, circle, close Logan's chat, close